the space of about 10 years, we went from this elite vanguard to we want votes, we want your vote, we want you to participate, and everybody can do it. So ISIS saw this change happening and really ran with it in a way that Al-Qaeda Central didn't. They changed the kind of propaganda that they were putting out. They changed some of their tactics, and they changed the barrier to entry. So, the first big change was in their propaganda. If you look at Al-Qaeda propaganda, one of their biggest films was made in 2000. It's called The State of the Ummah. It's about 2 hours long. About an hour and a half of that is a list of why Muslims are in trouble around the world. We're oppressed, these are all the bad things that are happening. And then the last 20 minutes are a bunch of guys on monkey bars who are going to save you from this terrible problem. And so the vast majority of the stuff they put out, the rhetoric they used, the messages they put out were saying, we're weak and we need you to sign up so we can be strong. And ISIS, starting in 2012 and accelerating in 2013 and 2014, changed that message to say, you know what, we're not weak, we're strong, we're winners. And so they put out videos of their operations, telling a story, very dramatically illustrating an operation they carried out. Al-Qaeda was putting out, video from training camps, and ISIS putting out video of actual attacks that they carried out. They also started using extreme violence. So this was a big concern to Al-Qaeda. When Al-Qaeda in Iraq first started publicizing beheadings and publicizing execution videos, Al-Qaeda Central was very concerned about this because they were concerned about appealing to mainstream Muslims, and they thought this would be alienating to them. What they didn't get is that they were never really going to get the mainstream Muslims. What they could get is a violent fringe, and ISIS decided to run with that. We embrace this. So we're not going to try and create this inclusive message that's going to change the world. We're going to get everybody who's willing to pick up a gun or a knife, and we're going to incite them to do that. Apocalyptic groups are also very contagious. So what we saw in the past, in the Anabaptists and Branch Davidians in Texas, these groups were very contagious, but they're contagious constrained by geography. You get the contagion, you get these ideas implanted in your head by knowing somebody. But it's easier to know somebody today. Now, if you were a fan of ISIS-style justice back in 1950, living in the American Midwest, you would go your whole life and you would never meet anybody who shared your views. Now you can get online and within 20 minutes you can have 100 new friends who are all interested in the same thing. There's an argument among people who work on ISIS as to whether this is a cynical ploy, that they're just selling this apocalyptic stuff to the groups, as we call them in the United States, to the people who are gullible enough to believe it, and this is a way to draw people in. But at some level, enough people in ISIS believe that this is the beginning of an apocalyptic war, that functionally it doesn't really matter if some of these people are Ba'athist officers who are doing it cynically to cause trouble.
Do you see the world as the US is fighting some kind of evil joker, as you've written about? ISIL or ISIS is the Joker of the Batman, like the pure evil.
I mean, I'm an American and I believe in the concepts of America. I don't think we always execute those concepts as well as we should. But I know that, I do know that whatever our shortcomings, we're not going to go out and put out an aggressive disinformation campaign of the kind that we see coming from, like, the Iranians or from the Russians. That is not something that would be politically palatable in the United States. And, ultimately, I live where I live, and I think what we do is pretty good. The column on the Joker and ISIS came out of a Facebook post that somebody who worked at One of the Rock saw an offhand comment I made, and we thought it was pretty funny, so we just wrote it up. But it wasn't really meant to be. That post actually was about the moral dilemma that ISIS creates. So when you have an opponent who is working so hard to make you a mortal enemy and to portray itself as this kind of ultimate force for what they think is good, but they know that we're reading mass beheadings as evil. The point of that article was was that, you know, the challenge that the Joker presents to Batman is similar to the challenge that ISIS presents to the U.S. in that it's a dare. It's like, come on, you just kill us all. Why don't you just kill us all? You know, the Joker's challenge to Batman is, why don't you just kill me? Because you know that, you know, I'm going to kill a bunch of other people. And, you know, so I would hope, and I can't swear for what future administrations will bring, or even, you know, what next week will bring, but I mean, I would hope that we would try and find ways to move forward ethically.
What do you think about the whole anti-Muslim movement that's coming up more and more now in the United States as well as in Europe? Is that, I would believe that it's feeding ISIS, because they can use it within their community to pose us actually as the bad guys.
What I usually say to that is that we should do the right thing because it's the right thing and not because it's going to help us defeat terrorism. We should have principles that we stick to, and I think for many of us, you know, diversity, and encouragement of diversity, of acceptance and tolerance of other people is really key to that. This is kind of where we come back to, where, you know, we've got this real effort to create the ingredients of this millenarian cult. We have more money and firepower and people involved in it than have really ever been involved in an organization with this type of ideology. I think that this is a function of the change in communication in the world. I think that it's simply too easy to discover other people online. And so if you create an organization that can appeal to 0.0001% of the world's population, that's enough people to cause a lot of trouble. You know, we have a huge world, we have a hugely connected world, and, you know, while ISIS is the first organization to really exploit these new dynamics in an effective way, I think it's definitely not going to be